and it closes on October the 7th, as it states on the schedule.
Sounds perfect.
So basically, if I summarize what I heard y'all say today, is that what you will probably suggest to the full board is that you go with schedule number 2, changing the search opens to August 1, and basically everything else stays the same.
Okay, perfect.
And then if we don't get any qualified candidates that we like, we just keep pushing it back.
We revise the timeline, because thank goodness Dr. White said he is willing to stay as long as we need him. I have that recorded.
He told me that too.
So we're really not rushing, we're just moving.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. That sounds perfect, perfect.
Anything else as far as the timeline goes?
That's pretty good. I think your next thing was the survey question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Review survey questions is the next item on our agenda. And then,
I'm still trying to pull my information up. I'm at my daughter's home right now with the grandchildren. I'm trying to find my information real quick.
oh, take your time. We've kind of looked over it already, and I think the purpose was to determine if there were any questions we wanted to add to the survey, which I don't know how difficult that might be to do, since you have to actually put these in order from 1 to 10, or if we wanted to substitute something with one of these.
Was this a survey supplied by the School Boards Association?
Yes.
You know, I mean, should we change it up as far as like community members, parents, students? I mean, to make it a little bit more similar for them for like number 2, the question? I mean, I'm just,
So what you're saying is
I mean,
like,
far as
if
ranking-
the student filling it out, have a different ranking system for them?
yeah, like maybe like just shorten it up a little bit. I mean, even for a parent, I mean, if you throw them 10, I mean, that's gonna be a little, I mean, as a parent, I would be like, well, where do I start? But then as a student, I'm gonna look at it, I'm just not gonna do it correctly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Exactly, yes.
And I'm not sure, and you might be able to answer this, Dr. White, in the past, does every survey, is the same survey supplied to everyone? It just seemed like, your teacher questions would be different from your community member questions, or your student questions would be different from your parent questions.
I think we could ask the School Boards Association that question and ask them, and especially if you guys have different kinds of things you want to know from students and or teachers from the other groups, they can work that out. And it's my understanding this is an online survey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
It is.
yeah, you gotta make an effort, you gotta be interested enough to log on and go fill it out.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is to me too, I mean, if you're a teacher and you're answering this question, the order may be different. And if you, I mean, how are you answering? You may also be a parent.
Yeah, it absolutely will, and when
And that would change the order.
yeah, and when they present it back to you, they will say, these were the priorities of teachers,
Mhm.
these were the
Right.
priorities of students, these were the priorities of the community.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Or maybe split it up in 2 questions, like take 5 out of this, put 5 together and 5 together, or something, because it's 1 through 10 is big.
That's a good way to do that.
1 through 10 is big. Or maybe we can divide it by like, maybe like have community stuff, and divide it into groups or somehow. Experience as a group. I don't know. It just seems so broad. It's kind of all over the place for me. So, and some of the questions I wanted to ask are not on here.
Yeah, what would some of those questions be?
Okay, hold on 1 second, let me check. And I don't know, they were just some questions for me. Have experience building, maintaining, and managing schools. Do you want this person to have been a successful educator at a building and central office level in the past? The importance of having any ideas and approaches to closing achievement gaps. I'm sorry, Dr. White, I just had questions. I can text it to you. Have idea and approaches to improving graduation rates and preventing dropouts. If they are accessible and respond to concerns in a timely manner. And then, two more, has a commitment to community, equity, and equality, and have a commitment to transparency with the board, faculty, and staff. I just think those were for me, those were 5 important things I would like to see in a superintendent.
And then I'll add one, knowledge about finances.
Well, I thought budgeting was on here
Was it?
already. Experience in district budget, development, and management, because
Okay.
believe me, that was one
Yeah.
too, but it was already on here.
And see, that's hard to rank 1 through 10. I mean, that's just I don't know, that would be difficult.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're a teacher or a student
Yeah, student.
or a parent, and all that right there, the student could care less about that.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, some of those kind of questions.
Yeah, I like, strong background in curriculum and instruction. Student, someone might not even know what that means.
That might be high on the teacher's list, but not necessarily high on
Right.
Support staff.
That's it.
But you do have number 4, that block where they can write in
Yes.
what's important to them as well.
Right.
Ms. Goldman, we can type this up and get it to you to get to, Mr. Price with the School Board Association
That'd be great.
with these suggestions, and then he can distribute it back out to you guys pretty quickly, I would think.
Well,
Yeah.
instead of numbering them 1 through 10 or 1 through 15, 16, how many are we end up with? What about giving them a grading scale, giving them a scale from 1 to 5? How important it is to you? Is that too difficult? I mean, it still is giving you the same.
According on who's reading the.
It's still exactly, but it's not trying to number it 1 through.
Well, if it's a student, he's gonna label it a 5.
Right, but it's still a little bit easier than trying to put stuff in numerical order. As far as importance, if you just give it a scale, maybe that's a little bit easier. I don't know, I'm just trying to make it easy for the person that's filling it out.
I definitely think that's too hard for a student,
Which one is Goldman?
that number 2 question.
Ranking them? So that's why I say instead of ranking them, why not just, give them a scale 1 through 5 of importance?
Mm-hmm. That would work. That would work.
Assume we do. Do that. All right, we'll write that up for you to get to Mr. Price as well.
That'd be great. That's perfect.
By the way, if you go to how important is it 1 to 5, do you think you still need to divide it up into 2 different sections or 1 section, okay?
I mean, if you're just 1 through 5, you're probably fine. Because
Did you say,
the-
Mr. Wilson, I couldn't hear you.
Well, I think if you're giving them just each one of them gets a 1 through 5, I think you'll be fine. And I think the biggest thing is, trying to label them 1 through 10, with 1 being importance, 10 being least importance. I think that's where you're gonna have some skewed data. But I think the 1 through 5 list of importance for just each individual, I think you'll be fine.
All right,
Okay.
We should ask our statistics teachers.
What you think,
Well,
Mr. Rep?
We could still have, even though it's the numbered system on that scale, we could still have the, School Board Association break it down by the teacher versus parents
Yes.
versus.
they will,
Yeah.
they will do that.
More geared towards each section.
So they will let us know what the teachers
What
thought.
the teachers thought versus whatever's
Right,
all on the
gotcha,
same
gotcha.
place.
So are these the only 6, groups that we wanted to represent here? Teacher, administrator, support staff, community member, parent, student. Was that it?
That should be what it is.
Okay.
I think that covers it.
Okay.
If you're not one of those,
Yes.
5, you're a community member.
Right, okay. Everybody else following the same bucket. We got you. Okay. So we ready to move on to the next item on our agenda, which is review of focus group question. And there's only one question, apparently, that they asked. What are the characteristics, qualities, and work experience that the Board of Trustees should look for in the next superintendent? They say they ask them that question, give them a chance to talk, they take notes as to what the answers are, but that's the only question that they ask.
That just gets everybody talking. And, once that first olive is out of the bottle, the rest of it falls pretty well. I mean, they're there to speak, so they will.
So was there any other question that you would like? I would like to know, I'm sorry, but I would like to know if the community, and I know it's a preference. I know it's a preference to have a seasoned, experienced superintendent. That's always a preference. But our last, 3 superintendents has been first-year superintendents?
Well,
I know Dr. Hall was, I know Dr. Moore was. So, I mean, what are their feelings towards another first-year superintendent? If that's all that we have, if that's the only people that apply, what are their feelings to that?
I mean, they're not really going, if that's the case, they're not going to have a choice. 'Cause
Right.
I mean,
Exactly, they're not gonna have a choice, but
they're only,
I know they, but I know what they want, because I know what I would want. I would want someone that's been experienced, someone that's been a superintendent before, know how to run the ship, but that's not always what we're gonna get.
I'm not necessarily afraid of the first-year person so much as I am interested in, not just their expertise in all the areas that are important, whether that's operations, personnel, or finance or whatever, but the character piece of it too.
yes.
So everybody had to start somewhere, and that was me at one time.
Right.
A lot of lack of experience can be made up with hard work if you're willing to do that.
And I agree with that. I just know on some of our survey questions, it talks about having that experience and this, that, and the other. So I don't want, our survey saying, well, okay, we gotta have someone with experience. And then, then we're saying, well, all we have is our first year person, and we wanna get behind this person and train them and let them do their job. And so, I just didn't want it to contradict each other.
I just think, like I say, in a first-year person, you got to really dig deeper into the background.
Yes.
Have they been at least an assistant, maybe?
Right.
And their family.
And got some time behind their belt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I use, for instance, Bill James retired.
Right.
He was a principal. He had not had any. He was a
Right.
principal. But like I'm just saying, in those cases like that, they got supervision experience. I'll say that. But like I said, they may not have all the other
Right.
stuff it takes to put all the other pieces together.
But that was why I added that one question, have you been a successful educator at the building or central office level in the past? So, at least, you have some experience being around the, superintendent or being involved with the superintendent instead of someone that just,
So your question would translate into one of these blocks that was set where somebody would rank 1 to 5.
okay,
How important is experience in the district level?
Oh, I like that, that's good.
okay, okay,
That's how all these things you put on here, that's how they translate
okay,
into this.
perfect. So that one survey question, we're good with that, we're gonna let that roll and see how the discussion leads?
Yes.
Okay?
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start talking.
What were you gonna say, Ms. Baldwin?
My thoughts are,
regarding the changes you'd like to see. So, you know, you're not stuck with that. I will say though, you know, there's a time issue here, particularly if the first, survey is, or conversation is May the 10th, so they'll have to turn it around pretty quick. What was the timeline on the survey? June.
May the 14th through June 5th.
Yeah, yeah. So, we've got some time, but we'll be able to dig out about.
And then focus groups, that's starting June 10th? No, the meeting is, okay, the focus group survey report. Okay, so, they only got 5 days.
So that would be number
After the
6.
survey closed, they got 5 days to get us the report for the survey and for the focus groups, right?
Right. And that was on their timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
It's all
digitized.
digitized.
Okay, all right. So we're good with that? Okay, we'll move on to the next item, which is develop focus groups and times. So we want to come up with some times that everyone is able to come and participate in the focus groups, or, and that's been presented to us, a draft schedule.
No,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The May 20th, graduation is what? The
21st.
21st. So I have a little concern with that because a lot of your community, I'm just thinking out loud, will be at graduation. And so are they gonna go out 2 nights right in a row for school? I don't know. Plus, you got a lot of things going on in the school right there as far as like your assistant principals, all that mess. I don't know. I mean, should that move?
What's the last day of school? It is May 24th.
Believe so.
It's on the calendar.
It's the 22nd is the last day.
22nd is the last day.
I fixed it again, you call it.
Okay.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Just testing me.
So graduation is on the 21st, so last day of school is that Wednesday, the 22nd. What were we doing the 5th, 6th, and 7th? What was those dates before that we were gonna do something? 5th, 6th, and 7th, what was that, Miss Carol?
I'm looking, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find, I don't have my papers with me, I left early.
That's-
I don't have my papers with me. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. I thought we were doing focus groups then.
I was gonna say, I mean.
5th, 6th, and 7th of August was planned, but I don't remember the other one.
And I mean, even, because we still got a little bit of time with the APs and directors and stuff, because they're still in school. That's not a concern, or how busy are they gonna be to take time out
Right.
so that's gonna be pushing.
That's the week of Labor Day weekend, and so teachers are here, all teachers and staff are here all the way through Wednesday, the 28th.
I guess my only concern is, once school's out, we will not have those teachers back. We will not have a lot of those people on to participate because school's out. If we don't do it before school's out, I think it's gonna be a.
We've gotta do that.
Yeah, so the survey part, which is online, I don't think that's gonna be a challenge for you, but if you're talking about the meeting with teachers, I'm assuming you're talking about meeting like with the teacher advisory committee?
No, sir. I mean, yes and no. I want to see some teachers involved. In fact, personally, I think you got district principals, cabinet members, and district office staff. I think some of these, the way it's set up right now, we only have one slot. And that's May the 20th at 1 p.m. that we can bring a teacher in. That's somebody that's not in one of these groups, I'm saying. And I think we ought to have more than that. I think some of these here could be combined, to open up a slot or two.
So
But
now,
I think,
what about the
personally,
district?
I think what we ought to do is, when they send the teachers up here, it's probably gonna end up being the principal's pick. It's probably gonna be whoever's teacher of the year or something, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
You
what
see
she
what I'm
has on here.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just because you wasn't teacher of the year, you don't have any input.
Exactly, we should open it to anybody.
I think we ought to have at least every school send one person. That way, everybody ought to be able to do without one person for an hour to come up here.
Yeah.
Alright, I
I agree with
And
that.
do two or three
I
things, we
agree
can
with that.
combine two or three of these right here.
Yeah,
Because,
the district office staff and then the district directors and coordinators, and even the cabinet members, all those.
all need to be
overlap.
combined,
You
they're all right
combine
here.
those
Yeah.
And open up another slot.
Who are your cabinet members?
Do it.
That would be your, what, Ms. Westmoreland?
Yeah, that's-
Well, see, I count that district office staff, but I guess that's,
Right, we can combine all those. We
Yeah.
don't need to have a different slot for all that. We're
That's-
not like these.
That's what I'm saying, let's open up a few of these days right here, a few of these time slots, where we can have each school send one person, I don't care, they can send a janitor, I don't care who they send, you know. But, it could be, they can send somebody up here.
they, right.
You know, it
I would
needs to
love
have
to
a
see
mix.
bus drivers, I would love to see food service staff.
We need to
I would
have
love
a
to see
mix.
all, I mean,
That's
like you
coming up.
said, me too, I would love to see a mix. Now, Dr. White, is that better to do during the day, or do you think they need one of the evening meetings? Which one would give you, I mean, 'cause like you said, you don't have, I don't want it to be just one, I want it to be as many as want to come.
But like you said, different time slots, you can have each school send one person at a time. They're gonna return, then another person may go. It just means, to me, they're gonna have to have somebody, maybe the principal, somebody's gonna have to sit in the class for a few minutes.
But if you do one in the evening, then anyone who wants to come can come.
I understand that, they
I think
can.
it's gonna be a volunteer.
But that's volunteering too.
Oh, okay. You wanna make something cool.
I'm serious.
Would.
I want somebody, I mean.
I totally understand.
When I go out talking to them like this, you know, the first thing we said about this is bring a teacher. Oh, that ain't gonna be us, that's gonna be the teacher of the year. You know, I mean, that's the first, you know, it's just thrown out there like that. And
We have teacher forums too, that may not just be, maybe past teacher of the year, not the present teacher of the year.
Yeah,
Or it could be, I mean, okay, as I look at it, on May 14th at 11 o'clock, I would say, yes, that's your principals.
The principals
On
need to
May
come along.
14th at 1 o'clock, let's put our cabinet members and the district office staff together. And then that
combine,
would open up 2 o'clock to have teacher representatives, whether it be the teacher reps or teacher of the years or lead teachers or whoever.
you already have a teacher a year at
3:30, that opens another slot for another group. You may have one group at 2 o'clock for teacher representatives and then maybe another group at 3:30 for teacher representatives. Or maybe on the next, on the May 20th, if you look at 9 o'clock, you have assistant principals. Well, 10 o'clock on May 20th, we've already got those combined on the May 14th with cabinet and district office people. So you got another time slot open, maybe that needs to be another day to send another teacher from each school.
yeah. I'm just saying that we have the principal, let them send teachers and let them send some of the other staff as well. But, you know, tell them to mix it up some.
So are you saying, Ms. Goldman, we're gonna move the district directors and coordinators up with the cabinet members and district office staff? We're gonna move them off the 20th to May the 14th at 1?
I think we could, I think we
Okay.
can handle all those together.
Okay.
Now, can you tell us, we put all these here together at this time, is that gonna create a problem? I guess you might say for getting their jobs done.
yeah, we'll figure it out on our end.
Can I throw something in?
Yeah.
Yes,
With
ma'am.
the teachers, the elementaries get out at like 2:20,
Oh,
and then the high school and that's 3:30, so it's need to, I didn't know if maybe you wanted to flip them so they, it's not
That's a good
completely.
suggestion.
But then I couldn't hear that.
She wanted to flip, when the teachers come in, because the elementary school teachers are dismissed at 2:20, 2:30. So she thought maybe having them earlier in the day instead of after 3.
I mean, can we, almost sort of delegate Dr. White to do this, cause this is sort of his
Yeah.
staff, you know what I mean, like to make everything coordinate, cause I just feel like we're just,
As far as all the staff is concerned, I'd be happy to coordinate that, because what I do is work with the principals to find out what works best for them.
yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at, and based on what she's saying on here as well now, you take principals, cabinet members, district office staff, every one of those guys are here later in the day. So I think they ought to occupy the later slots a little bit
Yeah.
to allow for the teachers, like you're talking about, if they get down here at 2:00, 2:30,
Yeah,
it's hard for them to come here at 1 and be getting off at 2 and get back.
right, so this schedule is built around the School Boards Association people being able to be here, right?
Yes, but they're here for all this, they're here all day, both of those
Right.
days.
Right.
So whatever you come up with is fine.
Well, I'm just concerned about that May 20th in the end of school, like even like on the high school level and stuff, trying to get everything.
Right.
Is it too early to try for May 7th? That's the week before this week, then we can still have the 7th and the 14th.
So, with that in mind, let me ask you this question. If your confidence is high that you're likely to support Schedule 2, what is the sense of urgency for May 10 and 20? Other than access to, because you got access to everybody except teachers, which could come at the beginning of the school year, or even, you know, we could even invite them in, at some point over the summer and make it attractive to them to be here. And I believe you could get representatives from every school to come in.
The only thing is that,
This
the presentation to the board is on June 10th, so they gotta have the results from your focus groups by then.
I'm sure they can be flexible.
Okay, I'm just saying that's one of the
It
things.
exists for the interview part. A lot of it,
Right.
for us, as a board.
Well, no, it's
No.
what they're
Not
looking
focus.
for in a candidate.
Well, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
that is for, is to see what they're interested in a candidate.
Yeah, and you're not, if you go with Schedule 2, you're not even opening the survey, I mean, you're not even opening the job up for applicants until August 1. So you still have plenty of time for it.
So we'll need to push back
Applicants
this.
aren't gonna be looking at your survey results. You guys are gonna be looking at that, so those are, you know, two independent things, I think.
So we'll need to push back this June 10th date then?
I was just saying, I know it throws kind of a monkey wrench in things, but if it's tough to get all this in this quickly, and we'll do it for you, we'll get it done. But if you wanted to spread it out a little further, you certainly could if you're going with Schedule 2.
Well, I'd say, work on these dates right now. If you see the need to have to move, then bring it to us. I mean, you know,
Alright,
we definitely consider it.
alright.
We'll just say it is something we can consider, but I'm just thinking, like I say, I'd like to have them, whenever they under our payroll, we can have them here. You know what I'm saying? If they're not, if they're on, during vacation time, we're not guaranteed.
Well, the.
And I'm just saying, I'd just like to hear from more of them.
Right, so the school board's gonna be here on those 2 days. We will work with the principals to get, teachers here and build everything around when it's convenient for having the teachers in. And then work in principals and cabinet and, all these other folks around them. And then you still got your 2 community meetings.
It's just 2 days, and it's, you got really 5 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll
Really only 4 hours for them.
Now,
we'll
we
get
need-
all
Only 4 hour time frames.
We won't change the community meeting, but we'll get all the other groups at times that work for the school system.
Now,
Yes,
what
sir.
about your school improvement council, PTO president, advisory council, do they need to move up to the May 14th date too?
What was that now?
Oh, okay. Just,
Oh,
these,
yeah.
this group of people right here.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
he's gonna work out.
You gonna
He's
work
gonna
that out?
he's gonna make the schedule with getting his, all
Gotcha,
of our,
gotcha.
I guess you might say, all of our, associates as much as possible.
Okay.
And then he's gonna fill in the blanks for them.
Aside from teacher of the year stuff, we wanna have at least one other teacher from every school.
I'm saying at least that. I mean, it depends on how many hours you got available. If you combine district staff and cabinet members and the, coordinators, as it says, 3 and 1, that's opened up 2 more hours.
Right.
We only had 4 to start with each day.
Right.
That's opened up 2 more hours, so that would give you three of them, because you got teachers, and like I say, you got the maintenance staff, you got bus drivers. I mean, I'd like to see some of
I
every
was gonna say,
one of them.
support
involved.
staff too, now, will support staff come with the teachers, Dr. White, or would they have a separate session?
School level support staff?
You're, like you said, your, I call them
Class
environmental,
fives.
the environmental service, bus drivers, food services,
Well, could we not just sort of do this?
maintenance, whatever.
Old school and just throw like each category, their names into a hat, do some random draws and say, you got picked, we wanna hear from you. And then that way, you're
It
pulling.
could be done anyway, I just wanna hear some of them out there. I was trying to keep from having a school that might have 3 people picked, and it's hard to fill 3 classes that same hour.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, so we'll find a way to make sure there's representation from all those classified areas.
Yeah.
So that's like food service, support staff, bus drivers, maintenance, and whatever.
Ms. Carroll, do you agree with this?
Sounds good to me. I'm fine, that sounds good.
Right?
Now, the community meetings, where would they be held? Do we know?
I thought you said I swear.
We preserve our square for both days, or both nights.
So all these meetings are held at I Squared?
No, all these others will be here at the
This is
district
like
office.
our meeting will be our square. I think we're trying to do the boardroom.
Okay.
We could. I don't know about its availability during the daytime with them. I just had asked them for nighttime. Because that's a big enough area.
Okay, so just the community meetings?
Members to attend, to be there at I Square. Now, during the daytime, they had mentioned doing the school board, boardroom, but I told the Dr. White, there's other places if the boardroom is not vacant, they can use, such as the athletic booster club room, right there at the football field, that's sometimes available.
Yeah.
That we could use, so he said he would find us a place.
We'll find space based on the size of the crowd.
That's what I was fixing to say, based on what size of your crowd we need.
Dr. White, too, can we get the principals to use their text messaging to send that out to parents and stuff or the community? Because
Yeah.
even like with the referendum, I know like in Blacksburg, there was only 10 people showed up. I mean, you're not gonna get any, people didn't know about it. So we need to use our resources that the school district has to.
Yes.
Use our all-call and things of that nature.
Yes.
And can we put it in a newspaper as well? Is that
Yeah.
allowed?
Yes.
Can you go up a flyer and put it in the newspaper, make it look really attractive, like they're gonna win something?
Like,
Look, like they're gonna win something.
Yes.
Put a car on it and then, you know, don't say you're gonna win it, but just put a picture of one. But, yeah, we just really need to get the word out. It's, you're talking about 2 weeks. Did I get it done? So just the news outlets, I don't know how else to advertise. Can you put it like on WSBA or something like that, or no?
I mean, I think that the text
call?
messaging thing and the call from the school,
Yeah.
that would get.
That's gonna do it.
Use our all-call.
Because, I mean, you've got
Okay.
grandparents, parents.
Right, true.
Um,
But if you're gonna do the all call, how often do you do that? I mean, it has to be more than a one-time thing.
Our
Well, you
system,
got 2 days, 2 weeks right there, you have, definitely do it both times.
Okay,
Yeah.
they send out, it's Kimbo is what we use right now. They get emails, texts, and a phone call. We can do all those.
okay.
Mhm.
So,
But I'm saying do it each week, because you got 2 different dates anyway.
yeah.
And then the day of.
And the day of, that's my thing, yeah, as a reminder.
And so you never know what, you know, if we're sending it out to all parents, et cetera, we might ought to plan on something like an auditorium, just in case they all show up.
I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you.
We were at the high school.
Yeah, in high school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know.
What's Carol, I know you said You talked to them at the I Square about it already. What is the seating capacity? Do you have any idea?
I don't, I mean, it's pretty big. We've had, I know we've had meetings there where we did the closing,
Yeah.
we had discussions at closing the schools, we had what we call town hall meetings there at that time, and it held many community members. I don't really know the capacity, I don't, like off my head, I don't know the capacity of the auditorium for Gaffney High School either.
Auditorium pretty big, but I would imagine I Square is at least 150.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not sure what capacity. I've been there anyway. I've never had tried to imagine how many it would sit.
I know this one is bigger though.
Yeah.
I just would not want a situation where I came to give my input and now I can't get in the building.
Oh,
I don't think that'll happen. You might not have 6 people show up, but I'd rather be prepared.
Yes.
I agree with that.
So we're moving it to, we gonna just move it to the auditorium then?
Well, let's check for availability. I mean, I wouldn't want them to
Yeah.
have senior awards night already planned or something like that.
Right.
If it's not available, you know, I hate to do that. I just need to check to make sure it is available for
Okay.
that night.
But if it is available, that's what the plan is, to move it there?
Whatever y'all think.
I mean, should we put one?
Dr. Wyatt's gonna be checking that and I guess he'll schedule it if it's available.
I think our first choice is I Square, as long as we have confidence that it's gonna, we can get everybody in there. And then our fallback position will be, auditorium. But I think it'll work out.
Mr. Wilkins had a very good question.
I mean, should we put one in Blacksburg or keep them both in Gaffney?
That's a good question.
I honestly think Daphne needs 2. Unfortunately, well, I don't know. And then, but Blacksburg needs 1, at least. Do you think it'll be enough for 2 for, I don't know, for Gaffney, I just think it needs to be 2. But I think Blacksburg definitely needs to have 1 of their own. Cause sometimes people just don't wanna cross the river.
I drive it every day.
So,
But yes, I mean, there is,
but how will we work that? How will we get 1 more in there?
We can talk to Scott and ask for a 3rd day.
yeah. Is that even?
It's the 3rd day just for community meeting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I haven't even thought about not having one at Blacksburg. I think that's a great idea.
We wanna definitely hear from Blacksburg too. Absolutely.
All right, we'll get with, Scott Price and figure out how to have 1 in Blacksburg. And 2 in Gaffney.
Mm-hmm. And if they can't do 2, can't we just whatever?
He's having 1 on the 14th and 1 on the 20th. That's a Tuesday and the following Monday. Maybe you could hit the 13th at Blacksburg the day before. So I don't know if that's a community meeting or something. Let him decide what, I don't know what his schedule is.
He's not going right. Unless he stays overnight.
I guess it would be great to have it back when he might spend the night,
Have it back.
instead of driving back and forth.
Yeah.
They've got staff.
I just have to fix it. Listen, they don't feel sorry for me driving.
But if you could just
We
spend the night,
drive.
you would.
As for the date in Blacksburg, would assume you would hold this at the high school. So let me check with, Michael Molinax and make sure we get it.
You have it at the gym or not?
Gym.
They got an auditorium too, but.
Well, it's easier to get to the gym though, because it's right there in the front.
Yeah.
It has all the
Sure.
handicap and
True.
it says,
All right.
Good discussion, good discussion. Okay. Then, anything else, Ms. Baumann, as far as the, develop focus groups and times? We have left it to Dr. White to draw up a schedule for us, that is, compatible with his staff, so we know when people can get away from their, positions. So we just gonna leave that up to him, he's gonna give that back to us and present it to the board at our next board meeting, we should be good to go, right?
That
Okay?
Dr. White, I'm gonna ask you if you will, once you get it drawn up, even if it's not board meeting time, email us all, let's look at it. I'd hate to come in here and then everybody want to start making changes to you last minute. Like,
And our next board meeting is on, The third- the next board meeting is on the 13th. The next board meeting is the day before.
So we could not do that community meeting.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do that on the 13th.
Oh, well, yeah. That might not be a good day for Scott to decide if he does.
Well, community meeting, he can even push out, so the week after school's out or something. I mean, cause you're trying to get community members in,
Right.
so really that's, don't have to be on.
Well, he said these sessions last like 45 minutes, right? Is that what he said, 45 minutes to an hour?
Mhm.
And I said, what if you think he can do it after one of those? Is pushing it back to 7 in Glassburg? Is that too tough?
That's not a bad suggestion to throw in.
Cause 7 is not that late, not in the summertime, you know, 7 is still daylight, they'll be out by 8 or 8:15. Even if it's 7:30 to 8:30 for them.
Or, I mean, I would just let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's just an option.
I'd let him check his calendar
Yeah,
first.
exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that may be an option if you don't wanna extend it another day. Alrighty. Anything else as far as the focus groups and times? Dr. White is gonna email that to all board members when he comes up with that schedule. Okay? Have we covered everything?
Sounds
Think
good.
so.
You good, Carol?
I'm good, I'm walking in the hospital right now.
Congratulations.
For helping me out, I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Peter is gonna,
Thank you.
Peter is gonna type up the minutes. I'm just teasing. Ms. Duckett will type up the minutes, Ms. Gallman, and send it off to all of us so you can make sure that you're abreast of what goes on for the next meeting. Okay?
Thank
Okay.
you so much, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Congratulations again. And our next item on the agenda is to move for adjournment. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn.
There you go, that's what I'm fixing.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Good night. Have a good evening.
Good night, thank you.
Thank you.